Hey everyone, in today's episode I want to talk about one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make and what it taught me about following my passion. I guess I'm pretty lucky in that even from an early age I knew exactly what my passion was. Ever since the age of 6, all I've ever wanted to do was to become a pilot and to fly. Unfortunately for me, due to the injuries I sustained in a bus accident back in 2015, I was no longer able to pursue my career and my goal of becoming a military pilot. In 2017, 2018, that put me in a pretty tricky situation where I arrived at a crossroads in both my career and my life. Essentially, I had two options. I could stay in the Air Force and pursue a different job, such as air traffic control or air combat officer, or I could discharge from the military and try and pursue a career as a civilian pilot. Now, this is one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make, and it certainly wasn't a decision I was expecting to have to face at only 22 years of age. Despite my passion and my love of flying, I still found this decision so incredibly difficult. I was torn between the two options. Staying in the Air Force almost seemed like the safer option. I could still go on and have a great career. The Air Force was so incredibly supportive, and I really loved military life, especially things such as the camaraderie and the mateship. Additionally, I'd spent 3 to 4 years prior working so hard to try and commission as an officer and obtain my university degree. And to me, discharging felt like I'd be leaving all that behind and that I'd be pretty much starting again from scratch. Perhaps the scariest part was that should I choose to discharge, even the smallest possible chance that I'd ever become a military pilot would be gone, and there'd be no turning back. On the other hand, all I'd ever wanted to do in life was to fly. And personally, I felt like I'd lost that dream twice already. Once when the bus rolled over, and then a second time when I could no longer pursue that life goal that I had of becoming a military pilot. So despite the fact that it was a scarier choice and that I'd felt like I was really starting again from scratch, I made probably one of the toughest calls I've ever made when I decided to discharge from the military to pursue my passion. Recently, I had to ferry an aircraft to a different airport early one morning for it to get some maintenance done. And flying along in the still morning air with the sun both reflecting off the ocean in front of me and beating in through the windscreen, the perspective I want to share with you this morning became so incredibly clear. It is so important to follow your passion. Also, if you ever feel like you're at a crossroads or you don't know what decision or which way to go, I seriously think you should consider following your passion. Now, I'm going to be extremely honest with you. I'm certainly not where I thought I'd be in my life or my flying career at this point in time, and it's certainly not where I want to end up. However, I feel so incredibly grateful for the opportunity I have to still be able to pursue that goal in some capacity. Believe it or not, I still struggle with the fact that I'll never be able to fly fighters or any military aircraft for that matter. And I definitely miss certain aspects of military life, such as the mateship and camaraderie that I touched on earlier. But reflecting back on it, there hasn't been a single day or a single morning when I've woken up and wished that I was back in the military doing a different job. Currently, I get to wake up most, if not every day, and follow my passion, to get airborne, to fly, and to continue to chase that dream. And for that, I'm so lucky. So to summarise, today's perspective is this. There's great value and extreme importance in trying to follow your passion wherever possible. It's not necessarily going to be the easiest or the most straightforward pathway, but in my experience, it's led to a huge amount of contentment. And now I get to wake up each and every day loving what I do. So if you're ever in doubt or you ever find yourself at a crossroads, I just want to encourage you to seriously consider trying to follow your passion. Thanks for watching this episode of Parks' Perspectives. I hope it was of some value and you got something out of it. Do you have something you'd like to get some help with or perhaps get my perspective on? If you do, please feel free to reach out through my social media or through the comments below and I'll see what I can come up with. Thanks again and I'll catch you in the next episode.